Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. If ye believe, you shall receive whatever you ask for in prayer. Jesus Christ. So Christmas season is upon us right now. Maybe it's time to slow down, probably get a little extra rest, maybe take a nap. I think it's also a time to begin to practice, flex, exercise your belief, your faith. One thing that stood out to me many years ago was there are those who believe, and then there are those who profess they believe, and then there's those who don't, which is also the ones who profess they believe. So growing up, I did really good in school, sports, art, music, etc. It seemed like there was nothing I couldn't do and excel at least at the state level, if not the national level. And I always was like, well, I believe I can do that. And that is very true. It was because of that. I'm going to throw a but in there. But it was all physical, and I worked really hard, and I pushed myself beyond. And I will tell you something, I wouldn't have pushed myself and worked that hard and been that disciplined or that dedicated if I didn't truly believe that I could accomplish the goals that I set. I mean, you wouldn't have the motivation. And as I get older and, have more challenges in life, I began to see that as I look back. It's like, wow, I was unstoppable. But I was unstoppable because I believed I could do it. Now, what happened was there came a period of time in my life, probably when I was about 28 years old or something like that, where I was like, well, is that really just my work ethic, or is there some level of belief that actually causes these things to happen? So I wanted a prayer to just happen. Now, the thing though is when I was a little kid, okay, I'll give you a cute little story. It was, I think, third grade, and it was Valentine's Day. And I remember the night before, I prayed. I wanted this one girl to say that I love you. And here's the funny thing. What happened was a tree popped up, and there was a red apple at the very top. The rest of them were green or weren't ripe yet. I grabbed that apple, and I knew my prayer was going to be answered. Now, it wasn't like I set out to visualize it, but for some reason the tree popped into my vision, or imagination, whatever you want to call it. And I knew that if I plucked that red apple, this prayer would be answered. And so sure enough, the next day it came, and we exchanged Valentines and stuff and candy and all that stuff. And never happened, and I was kind of sad, and it was first period, second period, and I think I had her in third period. So we had a break period, and she never came up to me, never anything. And then her friend Sarah. Now, Sarah was a cute little Asian girl. Remember that? Sarah walked up, and she pointed her eye. Sarah doesn't even say. She just walks up, stands in front of me like a mute. And Sarah was not mute by any means. And she pointed at her eye, and then she went to her heart, and then she pointed at me, and she walked away. And then she goes, and this is from, I can't remember the other girl's name. This is from so-and-so. And I was, what? And she walked away, and I was like, okay, that was weird. Sat down. And then about 3 or 4 minutes, Sarah came back up to me, and she goes, look at me. I'm like, yeah. She goes, she points to her eye, she points to her heart, and then she points to me, and she goes, that's from so-and-so. And I'm like, what does that mean? She goes, I, and then she points to heart, and she goes back, points to me, goes, you. I went, what? And I went, oh, she's saying I love you. And so I was like, wow, my prayer came true. Okay, I'm going to give you one more, because this was this was before this. This is one that really came true. Well, that one came true too. And I didn't express it, but it really blew me away that actually came true. So when I was younger, I think I was in first grade, I wanted this BMX bike. And it was at the Thrifties store. I don't know if you guys remember Thrifties. I think they went out of business, or at least out here. I don't see them anymore. So in the early 70s, they opened one up, and they had the little ice cream section, where you could get scoops of ice cream and stuff. And there was this little yellow BMX bike, and I was into racing. I was already on the Mike's Bikes team, which was all across the parking lot from the Thrifties. So they were both fairly new. Thrifties was brand new. And I remember there was this yellow bike, and I didn't know anything about bikes, what was good, what was fast. Like I didn't know. All I knew is I really wanted this bike. Now, because I was on the bike team and my mom and dad had already basically announced, like, yeah, we're going to buy all the bikes from Mike's Bikes, and I was kind of sad. And they were probably better bikes, to be honest with you. but I wanted this bike. I remember being sad, thinking, oh, man, I want this bike. But my parents have already kind of made up their mind where they're going to buy them. So I didn't say anything, and I just remember we were in Thrifties, and I was looking at it. And I wasn't even with my parents. I was with my brothers and sisters, I think 3 of them. We got ice cream and stuff. It was kind of weird because it was pretty much winter, it was cold, but whatever. Like, it was brand new, and Thrifties was awesome. so anyways, I remember the next day at school, Monday, I was daydreaming. I was on the bike, and I'm riding across the trail that goes along the creek, and the other side is where the park is at. And it goes up and over this little bridge. And I remember that. I remember so getting caught up in the daydream that I could see the cement, I could feel the pedals and the seat and the handlebars, and I could see the green grass, I could see the water on the left side, and the little bridge that went over the creek. And I remember riding over the bridge, and that's when the teacher yelled, "Michael, are you paying attention?" Well, she snapped me out of it. I was so caught up in the daydream that I lost where I was at. I lost reality. I was in that daydream. I was in the dream. That's the key. The other key is she snapped me out of it and I forgot it. That's the other key. You have to let it go. It's very much like the old cameras where you take the pictures, and then you take the film roll, and then you take it to the developer. So you let it go, and then they develop it. So once you have the dream, you let it go and forget about it. And that's you turning the dream over to God, like God becomes the developer, or spirit, or truth, or energy, or whatever you want to call it. And then it comes back to you. I'm going to tell you how simple it is to manifest, to have prayers answered. Imagine having it as if you already have it. It's like you're driving the car. The diamond ring is on your finger. You're in the relationship with the person. You're living with them. You're married to them. Like, it's as if it's already happened. You have to get so caught up in the daydream you forget about reality. Once you do that, boom, forget about it. Let it go. It's done.
Whoever says to this mountain right here, be taken up and thrown into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, it will be done for him. Whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours.
Believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Imagine as if you already have it. That's what he's saying. It's you associate into it, like you're sitting. See, associated means you're connected, you're in it. You're in the experience. Dissociated is when you're disconnected, looking at a movie or a picture of it. Okay? So it's as if you're seeing it, hearing it, feeling it, smelling it, tasting it. So if you've got a brand new car, you can feel the leather seats on your butt and your thighs and your back. You can feel the steering wheel. You can see the steering wheel. See, feel. You can hear the roar of the engine. You can smell the brand new car smell, or the leather seat smell. You can smell it. You can see. In other words, all your senses can experience it. Now, to simplify that step, it's what I said before. You get so caught up in the dream, it's as if you are already in it. You already have it. You are living the dream, literally. Number one, dream it. Here it is. You get caught up in the dream so much you forget about reality. And when you pop out of it, you're like, whoa, that was weird. It's like it was so real. You've done it before. You're going to do it again. This is why love is so special, why it's so powerful. is because you imagine being with them, you imagine kissing them, you imagine holding them, and you feel it, and you go to sleep, wrapping your arms around a pillow as if it's them. It's like you are so caught up in the dream that it becomes true. Love is your greatest teacher because it teaches you how to manifest. Do not get the word manifest and prayer, I don't want to say mixed up, because it's the same thing. It's just a different word, a different language to say the same thing. It's the same thing that Jesus and God are saying. The whole purpose of the Bible, the book of Genesis, Adam and Eve, the garden, the tree, the serpent, and it said they ate of the fruit, and then they knew they were naked and they covered up with fig leaves. Well, covering up means you're disconnecting from your right brain, which is the associated brain. The right brain is the dream brain. It's the creation. It's the emotional, creative, spiritual brain. See, that's what it means to be in the Garden of Eden. That is the Garden of Eden. Start to daydream, start to be creative, and you will connect with God again. You can create anything. You can manifest anything. You can prayer anything. This is your power. The whole purpose of everything is creation. Love was designed to show you how to manifest, how to create. Like it says in the beginning of the Bible, it says God spoke and it became. Genesis chapter 1 verse 3, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. See, we used to be in the Garden of Eden, but if you go into chapter 1, chapter 2 with God, it was all about learning how to create and practicing, and how do we create this? It's not even how, it's more like, well, let's see what we can do today. Let's see what we can do tomorrow. It was a very fun experience. It was always meant to be fun. Now, the way you do this is simply by imagination, because it stimulates and turns on your right brain. It doesn't matter how you do it. Whatever little fun thing you do, like, okay, in art class we used to do the scribbling exercise over and over and over and over, and eventually I would click in. The teacher would say, like, Michael, you don't have to do it for 5 or 7 minutes. If it gets you into the zone in like 3 minutes or 2 minutes, well, then just start doing your artwork. So whatever works for you is what I'm saying. There is no one way to do it. There is no right or wrong way to do it. Do it the way it works for you. Play with it. Have fun with it. That's the purpose. Imagine whatever you want. That's it. There's no other rule. That's it. Imagine having it, and then let it go. That's the 2 steps. That's it. Literally, the last 2 seconds or 3 seconds I spoke, that's the whole thing about manifesting. That's the whole thing about prayer. There's nothing more to it. It's that simple. If I were to add one asterisk, have fun with it. Stop taking it so seriously, because that puts you in your left brain. You don't want to do it. Have fun. Let your imagination go wild. Play with it. Create with it. Imagine some friend you haven't spoken to or heard from since high school calls you out of the blue. Just fun. It doesn't have to happen. That's it. Don't put any expectations on it. Imagine having the conversation. Imagine talking to them, and let it go, and allow what to come to come. So let's say it's a different friend, or maybe it was a friend from college from 20 years ago. That's good enough. So what if it's not the exact same person? So what if it's not the perfect whatever? Maybe you wanted a yellow bike, but you got a red bike. Who cares? Think of it as something you love to do, like art. Let me tell you, the first time I did art, I did not do very good. But the thing is, I kept at it. I kept practicing. I kept learning. I kept trying different ways, new ways. I remember my art teacher in 10th grade. He was a great art teacher and a great artist. He goes, Michael, stop being so serious. Here, do this exercise. A random exercise I've never seen before. And man, did that shift things around for me. And then another, hey, try this exercise and now do it. And it was like, it's like you're just beginning to develop your way of doing things. Another thought, imagine just finding a $20 bill. It doesn't have to be $20,000 or $2 million. Maybe one thing could be just like you just randomly find a $5 bill or a $20 bill, something so small that you're like, well, yeah, of course I could find a penny. you know. And just imagine small to medium things that are not that important and not that whatever, and then let it go. And then another day, imagine something big, like something really big happens, and let it be fun, and then let it go. Okay, I got one for you. So I was, it was probably about more than 15 years ago. I'm going to say, yeah, it was about 15 years ago, I think, maybe a little bit further back. For some reason, I was doing this manifesting thing. I thought, you know what, let's do something that's just outrageous. It was so outrageous, it didn't, what's the word I want to say? It wasn't stressful. It wasn't important. It wasn't like, oh my God, if I don't get it, oh my God. It was more like, man, that would be so cool if that happened. So I imagined getting a client who was this uber rich millionaire, just uber rich, so rich that throwing away brand new suits didn't mean anything to him. So met this person, did a couple sessions, then he invited me over to this big party with all these uber like senators and lawyers and, you know, these really, it was in the Piedmont, California. If you know anything about the Piedmont, it's a very, very wealthy area and has a lot of power too. I met 2 Nobel Peace Prize winners and senators and on and on and on. So here's the funny thing about it was, the upstairs was blocked off with like a little rope that went across and, you know, do not enter. So in other words, the guests were not allowed to go upstairs. And they had like 3 bathrooms downstairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they were all, it was a huge party and they were all being used. And I was like, man, I gotta go pee. And he goes, well, just go upstairs. I'm like, well, I thought we weren't allowed. He goes, Mike, he goes, you're not one of these people because you're more part of the family. He's like, oh, okay. So I went upstairs, went by the hallway, and I saw this room where there was a pile of brand new clothes. And they were thrown on the floor in a pile. And I was like, well, what the hell? Well, long story short, part of the dream was I imagined they fit me perfect. And the person said to me, wow, it's as if this was tailored for you. And this is what I imagined the person saying to me. And then I imagined that the person was slightly taller than me and I just had to get the suit pants hemmed. Now here's the funny thing. When it actually happened, I go, God, why did I imagine that? Well, here's the thing. That's exactly what happened. So I remember seeing a pile going, no way. It's going to happen. So I went backstairs. I, hey, what's up with the pile of clothes? Those are like brand new. Like those look like really expensive shirts and, you know, slacks and etc. He goes, oh yeah. He goes, those are like $400, $600 ketone dress shirts. I'm like, what? No, I didn't know they made shirts that expensive back then. And I said, what are you doing with them? He goes, oh, I don't know. I'm probably going to throw them away or give them to Goodwill. Now you got to understand, some of these shirts were never worn. And some of them had only been worn once or twice. So he says, no. So then I said to him, like, well, can I have them if they fit? And he goes, yeah. He goes, that would be great. He goes, I'd love to give it to someone like you. He goes, try it on. But the thing was, he was a bit taller than me, but I was more muscular, okay? So when we tried on the dress shirts, he's like, man, it's like it was literally tailored for you. And I looked at him like, no, you got to be kidding me. And he went to the shoulder. He goes, it's cut perfectly for your shoulder and cut perfectly for your wrists. And I just remember when he said this, because that's what I imagined when I was manifesting it. So then he goes, and this was part of the manifestation too. He goes, do you want some dress shoes? I'm like, well, yeah, I don't really have any nice dress shoes that would go with these suits and shirts and stuff and dress jackets. And he goes, here, come in here. He had a full walk-in closet for dress shoes only. And it was a perfectly heated, and he had something else there to make sure it was dry, some kind of material. I forget what it was, but it was perfect, kind of like a wine cellar where you have to have it set in perfect temperature. Well, it was like that except for dress shoes. On the other side of the hall was another a walk-in closet for his suits and shirts and dress jackets, etc. So he starts yanking these are some nice ones. And here's the thing, they fit me perfect too, which was mind-blowing. He goes, here, these are some good ones. These are some good. And I turned them upside down. They still had the price tag on. I'm like, you've never worn these. He looks at me and goes, oh, well, that's all right. You can have them. So I ended up walking away with like 8 uber expensive dress shoes, like $600, $800 dress shoes. Now here's the funny thing. I didn't absolutely have to have those, but it made a difference in my business. And it was really just like, let's just be outrageous with it. Let's see what we can do with this. So set some small ones where like $20 I can find that are, or imagine someone just walks up to you and hands you money, just like $20 or $100 or $200, whatever you comfortably feel doing. And then do some wild, outrageous thing that you don't need it, but it would be really cool if something like that happened. So that's it, guys. Merry Christmas. I hope you enjoyed this video. Imagine something special happens to you for Christmas. Alright, God bless you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, please click subscribe, click the like button, go ahead and make a comment, and as always, if you want to make a donation to this channel, there's a PayPal link right there in the description box, and you can buy one of my dating and or relationship books. You can also hire me for coaching as well. God bless you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.